I've been walking hard, I've made a mess of me. Person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be. But you stay here right beside me, watch as the storm goes through, and I need you. 'Cause God gave you for the ups and downs. God gave you for the days of doubt. For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing. Divine conspiracy that you, an angel lovely, could somehow fall for me. You'll always be love's great martyr. I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. Yeah, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you on my own. I'm only half of what I could be. I can't do without you. We are still together, and we'll understand that I pray we never undo. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. Oh, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me up for the days of doubt. For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. He gave me you. Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do this. Here comes the blood, here comes a lifetime, here comes.
Good night again, a pleasant good night. And as it is, as it was, I would, what happened here? I am not seeing myself on the screen. Okay, main host. All right, so we're back with Brooke and we're beautiful and we're ready to rumble. So Father, we're going to do the opening prayer. I know it's just call on the man to do the opening prayer here. So I will do what I have to do. Father, we thank you for yet another Tuesday night where we can come together in this fashion of praying and teaching and talking about your institution of marriage. Father, I pray tonight that whatever we say will be coming out of you, flowing through us. For those who are listening now and after, would be guided by what we say here, what we teach here, what we share here. We pray for those who are about to get married, those who are thinking of getting divorced, those who are dating would get to know the true meaning of being intimate with each other, that they must seek you first and that their life will be changed and they will function according to the kingdom principle. In this, I pray, and that's the argument with all my friends, Pastor John and Pastor Tex, Mr. Tex, that we both all agree and do God's will. Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. It's right over to you, and then we do the thing. Yeah.
Yes. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. Wow, another Tuesday night to be on. I haven't been on for a few weeks, but Lord, I make sure that tonight I should be on. I make sure I have the time. I take away everything from around me, so I'm not rushing or anything to get on tonight. I just want to say welcome. Welcome, Minister Tex. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Pastor John, as usual, we're always here. And Sister Veronica is on her way. Bless the Lord. I want to welcome the public. We want to welcome those on Facebook that will be joining us. I hope they come on tonight and give us some questions so we can answer. It's a very interesting few little topics that we have on tonight. So we just want to thank God for the opportunity one more time, for giving us this privilege, this opportunity, so we can come online and speak, about people who are married, people are thinking of getting a divorce, people who want to get married. I met somebody the other day said, oh no, I'm not getting married because there are too many people getting divorced. There is too many problems in marriage. And I said to her, you make it what you want it to be. If you live up on the principles that God has set, if you and your husband live up on the principles that God set for us, how marriage should be, you should not have no problems or a lot of problems. You should not have much problems because we're just human, right? Yeah, and as they said, teeth and tongue have to meet sometimes, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get a divorce. You will have some type of argument. And so trying to, talk to her one-on-one and encouraging her, showing her things in the word, in the Bible, and how, things should grow. So I'm going to meet with her and the husband to be who she wanted to get married to, but fearful. And, we just sit down and talk and, give them a few little insights. And probably I will give them one of the book to read also. So I'm so happy about that we'll have somebody who really decide not to get married. But after all, they will decide, she will decide and get married. The fiance is ready to get married, but she doesn't want to because of fear. So I have to talk to a little bit. Hopefully she will come on Facebook and watch us a little bit also. So here we are tonight again. Pastor John, you have anything to tell us?
Well, what should I say, Dan? I'm happy to be here again to talk God's business.
Yes. God's business.
I am always willing to share goodness and the word of God. And I just want to piggyback on something that is said about marriage in its entirety, where when it comes to persons that are married, get married because it's fights and the fuss and people prefer to live by themselves. Well, the funny thing about it, a lot of people play team sports and they play well together to win. They work and they work well at work. They get promotion, they get raise of pay, because they're working well with their boss and co-workers.
Right.
Comes to the home, simple instruction from the husbands. Work together with their wives, or to work with their husbands, will become a challenge. And I don't fault them for it, because knowing what I know now, better than what I knew then, that the devil is not in his best interest to have people married and stay together. So he will make the parts right, the condition right and right for people to fall to each other to fight. Our Creator, our God, see, he's the author of confusion.
That's right.
He wants us to be one, and one means that you don't argue and fight with yourself. So this notion that people have that if you marry, you must fight, this is not from God. Let me straight up. Right? See, I want you to be one as me and the Father is one. Means that we cooperate on every level. And that's why it's important. He said the man must know the word and to wash his wife with the word. So if he knows the word, she will submit unto him as unto Christ. So submission is not a controlling factor, it's a worshiping factor. Submit to yourself as unto your husband as unto Christ, provided he is in Christ and do the kingdom and he knows the word. Yes? So I see submission not as the boss man mentality.
Yes.
I see it as a leadership role that you follow as he follow Christ.
That's right.
Not the other way around. I'm the man in the house, and what I say goes. It says that they must submit one to another. Yet the man is the head of the house, Christ is the head of the man, and the man is the head of the woman. There's an order to it. But it must work together as one.
Right.
And that's my piece for opening tonight.
Okay, no, that's a good start. Minister Tex, good night, woman of God. We had such a great time the other night, on Saturday. We had such a great time. I'm still tasting it. Go ahead, Mr. Tex. Where is she?
Mr. Tex is there.
I'm here. You can see me.
Yes.
Yes.
There's so much to marriage. So much. John was saying we have to understand where we are. But if we understand our roles, it makes totally different. Because if one have to identify their gender to prove that they are the man, which means they're not doing a good job. So if you have to knock your chest and say, I'm the man of the house, which means you should think twice when your hand is going down. Like, wonder, why did I say that? But indeed, we're going to have quarrels. We're going to have misunderstanding. It's called part of life. Because we in cohabiting in the same space. Just as the teeth and the tongue is in the same space, they bite each other.
That's right.
So that we cannot get away from. But in making our mistakes, one must be cognizant to say, I'm sorry. Instead of deflecting onto the other person and say, well, it's because of you I did this, because of you I said that. One must learn to reflect. In marriage, we have a lot of deflecting, and people that deflect, you can literally sit on and they're actually telling you about themselves. If you listen carefully, deflector never talks about you. If they say this ain't going wrong because you did this, like they're actually confessing what they have done and how they have messed up. But when you sit back and you learn to reflect, that's why the Bible says, and the foolish man that keep his tongue consider wise, or the one that keep his tongue considered to be wise.
Very wise, yes.
If you're going out there and talking bad against each other, you're talking bad against yourself. So it's not the other person. Whatsoever you put in as the man, that's what you will get back. If you put in silence, you'll get garbage because the other person have a brains and they will start thinking. When you leave a woman to think, it's a dangerous place to leave her in. When she leave that door open, she will think as far as she can go. You cannot leave assumption gates open in marriage. You got to close that.
A lot of people don't close them.
No, when you come into a marriage and you half unpack a bag it's a dangerous starting point. If the bag is not unpacked, though they say it is better to talk in seasons, but it is better to talk at the front door than when you get in, you get comfortable.
Mhm.
And 15 years down the road, habits start popping up and you're wondering, where does that come from? That was not there at courtship. That was not here at the early stage of marriage. So where this is coming from, when a bag is not unpacked, those are the sudden problems that we face with as wives or husbands, because it's vice versa. It's either. So we so got to be careful in when one going into a marriage. And so many people that is not married is counseling the married people.
That's right. That's right.
We got to not take counsel from somebody who never been there.
That's
A
right.
lot of divorced people now, lawyers now is popping up all over the place. Have you been where I have been? Oh no. Do you know what I'm feeling? Oh no, but I can go based on a woman instinct. No, I could be wrong, all
Mhm.
wrong. I could be the poison in the marriage.
Right.
We have to go to somebody who is married. If you listen to somebody that is separated and go somewhere else and get married and they is influencing you, they're only influencing you based on their bad habit, not on your good habit.
Mhm.
So we got to be so careful in what we pick up in marriage and when people take sides in marriage, because John could say to Lucy down the road, oh, yeah, my wife is this, she look quiet, but she don't think. Lucy is looking at her as the bad person. Because
right.
why? John went and talked and she's not talking.
Mhm.
But they don't know
Right.
the secret of a woman not talking is more powerful than the one that talks.
That's right. That's right.
So we got to be mindful of what
Yeah.
when we step out looking, because people that step out, whether man or woman, they step out because they are either coward to face their own selves, or
Mm.
they're looking for friendship in the wrong direction. And whatsoever you crave, whatsoever you crave sin, the devil would open doors for you. The devil will
That's right.
bless you. God blessing you, the devil would also bless you. That's why we got to
Mhm.
be careful of what we say in the presence of people, and you're not taking counsel from the right source. You could be deceived on many levels.
Mhm.
That's my take.
Yeah. Yes, we thank you, Mr. Tex. We always say that you should not take counseling from people who haven't been there. And you find, as you said, as we're saying, you find a lot of people are doing that. And so when I met this lady, somebody that I don't know, but I don't know, God just set it up. So we were talking, and she asked me, she says, "Oh, I can see that you're married. You're wearing your married band." I said, "How long have you married?" And I told her, and she says, "What?" And she started questioning me. So I thought, okay, let me ask her, why is she asking me these questions? And I be nice to her and ask her. And she says, "Oh my God, I want to get married. My fiance wants me to get married, wants to get married so bad. But I don't want to because of the things that she heard. She's so fearful." I said, "But it doesn't have to be like everybody else. And so we exchange number, we talk once more again, and we're gonna meet up. And so it's so, you cannot judge somebody else's marriage, put it into yours. You have to do what you have to do, and give it your best shot. you know if we follow our compass, which is the word of God, we we will detour sometimes, we will fall off, but as long as we know it, we will come back to it, because as I said before, we're just human. And I just hope that I will come on with her testimony after a few weeks or a few months that she decided that she will get married. So that wasn't really what I wanted to talk about, but since it came up, I'm glad that we said all of those stuff. I will ask her to watch the program if she doesn't come on, so she can, get um, those arguments that we just posed. So tonight, I'm telling you, God can set you up when He wants to set you up so nicely. I was asked again, what is lust to Christians? When Christians talk about, this person was asking me, is about 26, 27 years old, and says, what does lust mean to Christians, to us? Pastor John, I'll set you in that first, please. I'll do it for ladies first, but I'm going to ask you that question first. How do we define lust in the Christian world, in Christendom? How do we define that?
I don't know if there's a Christian lust.
Yeah, well, that's what he asked me, so I'm asking you.
There's lust. People lust, man lust, woman lust after each other, with anticipation and thoughtful thinking of what they can do sexually, how the person looks sexually to them, how the person appeals to them sexually. Most people are lustful and infatuated with somebody before they start even loving them. Yeah, it's all external vision, of the person. The man might see a woman in a nice outfit, she looks sweet, sexy, and nice. Coca-Cola bottle shape, they call them, looking good, everything, all the figures in the right place. That's why she takes don't wear pants, right? She don't want to attract nobody and to cause nobody to sin after her. So she don't want nobody to lust after her shape itself, so she cover up. And so because some women don't cover up, the eyes wander and the men's eyes are filled with lust after flesh. Likewise, women who see a man tall, dark, handsome, full of muscle, tight t-shirt, say, oh, wow, he licked the lips. He looks good. She's shaking her head. She probably did that before, probably, I don't know.
No way.
So there's no Christian lust. There's lust across the board. Lust in after the flesh. Yes? Infatuation with physical sexual desires. That is lust. And in married world, you will call that adultery in talk.
Right.
So I will share with you what a story happened to me this week.
Okay, go ahead.
My wife and I went out after church Sunday, and she was walking with Abby to Walmart. I'm looking at her. I said, "Damn, she looked fine," So when she came back inside, I said to you, honey, I was just lusting after you. You're looking good.
Now that's a holy lust.
Yes, right. Is that lust after your wife or your husband?
Yes. So so what is one Sunday I'm in church too, and Sister Maxine catch me looking at my wife walking across the floor. She said, come to me, we're watching you once of us. I said, that's my wife. You want me to watch you? I can't watch. I'm like, my wife in church, and she's looking good, walking across in front of me. I look at her and I say, man, she's looking good.
Of course. Did you tell her?
I always tell her. So what, Maxine came up to me and asked, we're watching you one that for. I said, hey, but this is my wife. Watching church. I don't do nothing else what I can go home with. You know what I'm saying? I'm designing what I could go home with, thinking about what I perceive, with her. So I'm not gonna be lusting of somebody that I can't go home with. So my desire is to be with my wife. When I see her on the street, when I walk and I see her drop off, so I'm looking at her, I keep staring at her going. I always keep in my youthfulness. I like Solomon.
I'm telling you.
There's no lust different from the church and Christian to the world. Lust is lust. The problem is a lot of times how women dress in church. And let me say this, it doesn't matter a lot of times how a woman dresses. If a man desires a woman, you see her looking good from the face to face, or she hear something on her might attract him to that person. Okay? So he might be lusting after her because of that beauty. He might be sometimes she might be saying something. Her tone, she mannerism could be attractive to somebody.
Mhm.
Or she carry herself, her character may be attracting to that one person. So
Mhm.
there's things that a woman might say or do, and this man might say, "Man, I wish this was my wife. I wish this would be." Because they share the same. Oh, when you listen to certain women and see things they do, your level of your mental space is almost bordering shouldering that other person thoughtfulness, the way they think and the way they do the things. You think we have the same mannerism, you know.
Mhm.
Like some people might just tell you something. Some people married and they're not equally okay.
That's right.
They're not meshing together. But there's somebody out there that they're meshing together, but it just can't be this person. You know what I'm saying? There's people who
Mhm.
marry to people that they marry to them because, but the real Boaz is out there, and the real root is out there, but they married to somebody else that is not. You know, they might do Esther instead of root.
Mhm. That's right.
So you have those things happening, and another time people might for a different reason. They lust after things, they crave after things, they see things, you know, and they wish they could be that person to enjoy that benefit, to the married for benefit. And so all these lustful things, financial lust, you know, physical lust, social lust. I want to be with that person because of access I could get to. So all this stuff happens in relationship, and people get married for the wrong reason. Some people live with people for the wrong reason. So all this stuff happens. So lust is lust across the body. There's no church lust and worldly lust. All lust is lust
Mhm.
after the flesh. That's what it is. You know,
Right.
that's why it's important for women to dress modestly. Because most
Yes.
times lust goes towards the woman. Men more go after the woman lustfully. I didn't say that women don't lust after men, but I think a lot of times men lust more after women than women. And I think that if you go do a survey, you'll find out that women lust after men a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really happening.
Mhm.
So it's a two-edged sword. But there's no church lust and worldly lust. It happens as much in the church as in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
And
But
just
I think
Are we
some
using
people
the word
just think
lust and
that
like at the same time?
huh?
Are we using the word lust and like at the same time?
No. Like is different, totally different.
yeah.
So like,
Some people, I think why he asked me this question is that he thought more or less that if you're in the world and you sin, there is forgiveness for you. But if you're in the church and you lost, there's no forgiveness for you. I think that was why I threw it out to us, because I know what you're saying and gave him the answer. But I just want to throw it out to us to let us hear what we have to say about it. He thought more or less that if you are a sinner and you lost, you're not gonna you're going to still go to heaven or whatever. He thinks explaining it. But if you're a Christian, you're not supposed to lust. But if you're a sinner, you can lust. How about that? Go ahead, Minister Tex. What do you think?
Lusting is lusting and sin is sin. So
Mhm.
outside or inside, doesn't matter,
Mhm.
it's still lust. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
How
So
do you define
lust,
it?
yeah, as John was saying, yeah, and a person don't have to dress provocative
Provocative.
somebody
Mhm.
have to lust after them. They could
Mhm.
just love you or lust after you because of your personality. They can just love you because of who you are. But when we're talking about love, lust is the desire of sin in your mind when you
Right.
do something.
Craving for yes.
Yeah. And that's why in the Old Testament and the old, I always suggest the Old Testament saying coming to the new, but in the old days, when you adultery was the physical act, when Christ came, he says, if you look upon a woman, yes, to have sex, to have that intimate relationship with her in your heart, you already committed adultery.
Mhm.
This is as a married man, and the desire to have that relationship with somebody is actually adultery already.
Mhm.
Right? So it is a very, very how should I put it? Slim chance of someone not committing adultery in God's eyes now. You could have, before Christ came, you could have gotten away with a physical act.
Mhm.
When he came, he said, if you look upon her, just look upon her with the desires in your heart, you already committed adultery with her. So,
Mhm.
someone and you see text and you say, damn, she look good, and pastor will be clapping and sister clapping and brother clapping in church, and I see watching sister next door shaking her, and they're saying, man, praise.
Right.
I looking over, and after church, I say, how you doing? And they want to hug you and squeeze you tight. That's why text just get in the hand. Yeah.
Mm.
Text, you think I don't know? That's what they do. And they call Holy Brother tight.
Close.
Text, it happening in church, eh? And that's why
I think we more big clothes.
You put what your jacket on?
a lot of times we try to pacify sin in church, like just gloss it over, and we're not paying attention to the details of sin sometimes. And we do sometimes, we say love
There's a multitude of sin.
yes, we use that as a cliche to why people are free pass, which is sin. Yes, but Paul says, turn them over to Satan, to the flesh, to the spirit. You save them, So it is a two-edged sword when we're talking about those things. But in the essence of lusting in the flesh realm,
the question.
sex is pleasure, sin is pleasurable, but only for a season. You know that? Because it says, but if sin is pleasurable, so is lust. It's a pleasurable feeling, a pleasurable thing, but only for a season until you repent of it. So you could be forgiven in church for your sins. There's no one. Let me tell you something. Forgiveness doesn't only come from man. In the meantime, you forgive others and ask God to forgive you for your own trespasses too, because you have forgiven others. Forgiveness is an open book and a space to go to God and ask for forgiveness. Yeah, if you offend somebody, you could go to them and ask for forgiveness. Somebody offend you, you go to them and say, because God knows your heart. The person who offend you, and instead of you don't reacting for us for John to see, but you're mad with John, you're mad with Paul, you're mad with Peter, you're mad with Susan in your heart. I can't see it, but God knows. And now he said, go back. The person who offend you, go and make it right with them first. So a lot of people have in them things that is not going up right with God, and God knows your heart. John Christ don't know your heart. God knows your heart. So when you somebody offend you and you don't react for everybody to see in your heart, you're wishing I could bust that person's face, about and that street, I don't go on that street at all. I don't eat no bread she name right. If I see she name right, I'm saying bread and hunger and not eating it. Take ever heard this thing before?
Yeah, I heard that statement before.
Yes, if I see text I'm saying bread, I don't want it. And you're a big Christian lady, you vex with text and you go into God and say, forgive me as I forgive others, and you don't forgive text yet. You're mad with text.
That's right.
So we have to come to the point where we forgive others their trespasses against us. It only wants us to forgive others for our well-being. It's for our spiritual health, our social health, our physical health, everything. The forgiveness is about us being purified and cleansed of unrighteousness in us. Yeah, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they have done. Jesus asked to forgive them. And that's what we say. That's what it is. One of the biggest things about Christendom is some of us lack to forgive others.
Yes.
We that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do. We have to come to the point where we learn to forgive others. Even your wife, when your wife offends you, be the first person to say, honey, you know what you said there, that didn't go over me, but I forgive you for it. Because I don't think you really mean to say it that way, but that's how it came up, because how you're thinking, how your thought process was. And I think when we learn to love, to forgive our people, our wives, our husbands, it makes our life and our relationship much easier to flow.
That's right.
I often, I was 12 years now since I got married last Sunday, right?
Oh, that was your anniversary?
Yes. And in reflection, I said to my wife, for 12 years, I'm happy. We have not had a fight, big argument and cuss off, and I don't want to sleep by you. I don't want to stay with you. I don't want to, are you this and you're that? I don't. I know. I was looking back at all these years. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, man, I enjoyed the last 12 years. I enjoyed that. So, in essence, to that is that we must learn to love as Christ loved.
Amen.
Understand the Christ love of the Christ love your wife. Say, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Yeah, and
Right.
for it. How are you loving your wife? How are you honoring your husband? So no man ever yet hit himself. So he said, love your wife as you love yourself.
Mhm.
Women, the wives must honor their own husband, not nobody's husband, their own husband. Yeah. And
Amen.
submit yourself to him as unto Christ. Yeah. And that's what I like about the scripture. It gives instructions for our greatness. And one of the things that I think Tech said it earlier on, going to getting counseling from the wrong people. Getting wise counsel. Yeah, you can't take your Mercedes car to a Toyota garage to get it fixed. You could ruin your warranty. You know that.
Mhm.
Bring to an authorized dealer. So the authorized dealer is who God selects for us, and not every mechanic. Because you're a mechanic, you go fix any car. You're not authorized to. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you violate, as even though you have a license, and you violate the rules of engagement as a lawyer or mechanic, you could lose your license. And some people, sad to say, in church have lost the spiritual counseling skills to counsel other people. You may not want to talk about it, but that is true. You lose that. So
True.
you have to know. You got to seek God's guidance to know who to go to get wise counsel.
That's right.
Somebody to give you wise counsel. Good night, Veronica.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Good night, Veronica. Nice. Hey, you could come on.
Can I ask a
That's
question?
great. Hmm?
Can I ask
I'm a
a
little.
Yeah, text want to ask a question. Yeah, let welcome Veronica. Veronica.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to leave. Come on, Veronica. Good night.
Night.
How was your week?
My week was good, busy but good.
Nice. All right. Busy but good. All right.
Yeah.
Go back to tech.
Okay.
Text gone. Oh,
Yeah.
so you want to ask a question?
Does everybody lust? And if so, what type of lust?
Wow. That's a big one.
That was my next question. When you lust, this is only for sex? Just I flip it in that manner.
No. I think people lust after many things.
Yeah. Is it only sex people lust after?
But the only word lust means
Everybody lusts, because if lust is a sexual word, does everybody have that craving?
That's why.
And I don't think so. Because
But you lust sexually, we might not lust after that, but there are other things that we would lust after.
I think the word lust is an emotional thing. You see, lust is a very strong sexual desire. That's what lust is,
Mhm.
according to the dictionary, right?
Mhm.
I have a very strong sexual desire for someone. That's what lust is described as in the scripture, in the Bible, in the dictionary. I think that's what is referring to in the Bible. Lustfully after someone else, of a woman, desiring to be with someone. Lust is a psychological force producing intense desire for something or circumstances while already having a significant amount of the desired object. Lust can take any form, such as the lust for sexual desire. So you could take according to this Wikipedia, right? So in the context of marriage, in most instances, lust is a strong sexual desire, right? I say You may be having you have a wife, right, but you have a desire for her husband and have a desire for somebody. That's a strong sexual desire to have someone else, right? So, yes, text, you could have, like he says here, you could have that desire, yeah, for loss is psychological force producing intense desire for something or circumstance while already having a significant amount of the desired object. So a man might have a wife with him and still desire to have somebody else. Yes? Lust can take forms such as the lust of sexual desires. So yes, sex is all right. Could take many forms, but I think it's most strongly
sexual peak.
Yes. Yeah. At a lot of times.
Sorry. So the question is, if it is higher on that spectrum, does it mean that everybody lusts?
I tell a lot of stuff to my wife. I do. I was just telling a lot of stuff to my wife. The people left after other people's wife or after other people's husbands, other women.
So let's look at it as outside.
Yeah, having strong sex, of sexual desire. So a man may some people might have no desire to be the wife anymore for some strange reason. Perhaps she have children, you like how she body feel and look anymore. And looking outside and somebody else outside of the marriage now. You might just see a nice girl walking over the street and shots right up under she bottom line there. She what they call the thing lips showing, and he can't looking back at it. You know what I'm saying? So desire, when the looking could create a desire, a thought of having that person lustfully, having a strong desire. They might position themselves just to be in that person present. They see a person going that in the gym every day, they go to the gym every day too. The desire drives them to go there. So that's strong desire thing.
So, sister, let's update Sister Veronica what we're discussing tonight. We are still on the topic, what is lust, Sister Veronica? How do we define lust? Sister Tex, did you finish?
Yes.
I know we butt in somewhere there.
It's okay.
So Tex was saying, Tex want to add something to what you said here. Tex, the question, what is the meaning of lustfulness, right? Is it one intent?
No. She asked if
does everybody lust?
Yeah.
So it's not everybody.
No, I want to add a section, but you don't lust. But let me tell you something here. I know you're saying I don't lust stuff, so not in text. Text saying I don't lust, and that's what text saying. All right, text, all right. Text don't lust. She don't have these lustful eyes in her. She don't wonder eyes. She don't wonder eyes, long eyes, red eyes, looking after somebody sexually to the lust after them sexually. So you're exempted from that. So you're not.
No, we want Tex to answer that question herself, please. Thank you.
What's the question? What's the question? What's the question?
You ask us
the question. Do I lust? No.
Yes.
That's what
lust after no.
I don't was saying you don't lust. I was trying to say that text don't lust. That's what you ask everybody. She's trying to
ask the question. So then if I thought something is wrong with me, so I asked the question, does everybody? So John say, it's not everybody. So now I'm sitting. Fine.
You're sitting out of
a good company, somebody like me in the world.
I was just saying that to just add to text saying that not everybody lusts. I was saying I pick up on what she was trying to say, but she didn't say it out loud that she don't lust. And I was saying here, it's the meaning of lustfulness means sexual desire is someone on lustfulness and the weakness of the flesh, right? So in that case, text is saying to herself and to us tonight that she don't lust. In a sexual way. She don't have no sexual lustful desires of anybody than your husband. But do you lust after your own husband? Probably yes. I do desire to have your husband with you. That's yes. So
yes, we all lust then.
Sex, you don't desire to have your husband tonight, or tomorrow night, and then Friday night is the night, you know.
Of course we do.
I desire to have my wife. I lust after her.
Me too. I desire to have my
I
husband.
changed my faith.
So, Minister Joe, can I get into the action with that?
Yes, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Veronica, I'm innocent. Please don't hammer me.
I'm coming for you, Tex. I'm coming for you. Okay,
Go
first
ahead.
of all, I agree with the terminology that John has, and specifically talking about love between a woman and a man, right? There are many things that people can lust after, right? People desire cars, houses, rings, jewelry, clothing. People have that kind of lust, but in this context, we're talking about between a man
And a woman, yes.
and lust. Right? God created us with a worldwide of different emotions, right? And he put us in a position where we desire the opposite sex. There's no getting around that, right? He created us there to be there and to want one another. If you think about back in when Eve ate of the fruit and God gave out the punishment, right? And one of the things he said is that you will always desire to please your husband, right? And so we as women, when we get involved and we have relationship husbands, whoever, we go way out our way to try to please them. We even deny ourselves sometimes to try to please that person. Whether we do it openly or secretly, Tex, we still have that desire to please that other person, right? Okay, so let's just be real. That's in the marriage, right? But there are times that even if you are married, you see people that we are attracted to, right?
No.
Now, whether it's strong or just average attraction, sometimes we meet women and men, and we do turn our heads, right? We do give it a second look. And yes, we do. Sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. It just naturally goes that way. And I've even found myself and said, "Oh no, Veronica, get your eyes off that person. That person is, whatever. It might be somebody who's married or somebody who's already taken or spoken for. We all have a desire.
Of all nights, I could have stayed in my bed. What am I doing here?"
We all have that desire to want someone of the opposite sex. It's just something. Now, do I think that you can curb that? Do I think you can tame it? Yes. And a lot of men and women, when they get to a certain age or a certain maturity, you kind of like see the person and you said, okay, I can admire this person as a beautiful person that God has created. And there's nothing wrong with that. I tell people all the time, with both men, women, and children, they're beautiful. I say, oh, you're beautiful. Even if I see something on them that is a compliment to them, I always give out compliments. Oh, I love that dress you have on. Oh, you have such beautiful eyes. Oh, look at your hair. Your hair is so beautiful. We're always giving compliments. And, even if it's somebody of the opposite sex, we're looking at, wow, he's dark. Look at his tan. He's tall. We're designed. We're right. We're God. And then for men, God says, those who desire a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor within the Lord. In order for men to find, they must first look, right? They must go out and look. And men are visual creatures, right? They're going to look and they're going to look and they're going to look. I think it only comes, and John might can help me with this. It might only come when they get mature enough that they kind of, like I said, tame that looking around versus, being so wowed about it and, just out there like that. Sometimes, as they get older, they say, oh yeah, I remember the time, or, I remember the time I would have went after that, or I remember the time, she would have been, in my bed, whatever the case may be. Men, women both have that desire to for the opposite sex. And there's no getting around that. And if we say that we're not attracted to other people, if we say that it's not a lust there, we're lying. May God be the truth and every man be a liar, right? Because you can say you don't, but you do. And if you sit down to yourself and you realize, you know what, I am that person. And it may not be something that's in your face, but it does occur. That's my personal belief. I think it does. And I think that's the way God created us to be. I mean, it's a choice between lust and love. And I think at first we do experience lust, and that lust can turn into love in many aspects of it. So yeah, I think we all have that desire and have the ability to lust after another person. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm not faking the fun.
We have the ability, yes, but a lot of us, there's a lot of people that really don't go out on that limb. We all have the ability, but it's not a lot of people do it.
They
Some
just haven't met
people-
the person. That's what they haven't met the right person.
Mm.
Sister Tex,
What? I should never been to go to bed.
I know that that's not your short answer.
She got somebody in mind. That's why she keep covering her face.
Texas is talking about her husband tonight.
She's
Yeah.
thinking about those.
Hey. Look to ourselves.
Errol, you know? Girl. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that was
I think the desire of Songs of Solomon is ringing in her ears. You know something?
Mistake I make and read that scripture, John. I didn't know that was in the Bible. Then I have to call people and say, "Do you know this is in the Bible? And it's really bad. It's sinful." And somebody said, and the pastor wife says, "No, just calm down. It's always been there." I said,
it's there from the beginning. It's there from the creation.
Yes. I mean,
It's
I'm curious to wonder why texts call it shameful. It's not shameful.
God created the thing.
I did not grow up in that kind of lifestyle. So
Imagine it's God's style. God created. I know Solomon embraced the thing so much, and we love Solomon so much. But that part of Solomon didn't embrace.
text bypass that
I'll
scripture.
push bypass it.
Mm-hmm. She
Because-
skipped it.
I tell you already. I think we in Christendom we make ourselves to be innocent, right? We try to I tell you something. There is
I think a lot of us is not really there. There are some people that they experience life early, so yeah, you find them more freer and they embrace things. But a lot of people that never really went out on that edge, but they went out on a different edge, they tend to just keep on that edge and don't talk about that.
yeah.
But that's how the church is.
But I think
Just like what you just described. They don't talk about it, and that's why we are on this program talking about these topics, these subjects that they don't talk about in the church. I cannot remember gone to a marriage conference that they speak on loss. I went back in my brain. I can't remember.
I took a lot of course on it. They had a lot of sessions about that in church, but it's just me personally. If I'm not counseling about it, I try to stay away from it because when I hear it, it's something too open.
yeah.
I hear you.
In closed area, I don't mind telling somebody what to do, what not to do, and what's the B's and what's the A's. But when I'm on a forum where I'm exposed, I feel kind of naked. I feel that I need to cover, something is out there and somebody is watching. So that's how I feel. And that's just me personally.
But something. I
You
think
don't have to cover. You're fully clothed. You're fine. You don't have to
You're
cover.
covered. You're covered. You're covered.
I pulled this so I can be more.
You should get your winter coat and put it from the crown of your head to the
I
sole of your
know. When Veronica is on, I need to put everything on.
No, but this is good. Let me finish up on this topic and see if we can get to another one before. But this is good. This is a good topic.
Before we go, I want to just.
No, we're not leaving this. I'm just go ahead, Pastor John.
I want to say something here because I'm just reading something here too, right?
Mhm.
Lust and infatuation, they go similarly closely by. Lust and infatuation seems like two sides of the same coin. They are two different faces of the same coin. Each is unique and has its own status in society. Lust, the dictionary meaning of lust are intense or acute sexual desire or appetite, illicit or uncontrolled like sexual desire or appetite, and
Mhm.
over mastering or passionate desire
Coming right back.
or craving to have intense sexual desire, to have a desire of yearning, to have an excessive craving or strong craving. We need to understand the lust is not just used for sexual desire. It is used for intense hunger, passion, or craving. According to what text was saying, there's different type, right? For things which are considered materialistic in our society. For example, someone is lust for power, meaning the intense desire to be in power. So it could be lusting after power too, right? But
Right.
in the same but someone lost for life, meaning intense passion towards living your life, doing things you love, not just existing as like me. I have a lust to live life, to do things, to desire to do great things. I want to have greater things, to have more. So the desire to have and to do more things, it might not be a sin type, but it might be something that you want to do. You're so designed to do this thing. You're passionate about this thing. To become better, to have better, to live better is a desire of yours. So in the terms of lusting, you could lust after, you could infatuate, after something, thinking about something you want to have badly. Like Tex want to go to Green to get some mangoes again and to go to a place. She designed to have that. To have an oil down, to get them some fried saltfish and some bakes on a Saturday morning. There's a desire, she see that she wanted to craving after. So those things are all depends on who you are with and what your circumstances are. Maybe lusting or desiring, infatuating about something, that drooling over something in your mind that you may want to have. Right, Tex?
Yeah, because and the scripture have it like so there on focusing on one thing, and they could have widened it more, but I think they put it there because of the young converts.
I think the whole nature of the sexual appetite a man has made God make mention of it, because sex. What I think Sigmund Freud said, that sex is the number one force that drives mankind. Yes. Sex has come up as one of the biggest desires of mankind after money.
Sex is the one sin that takes over the whole body, the whole entire body.
Whether I like it or not, sex
comes at the sex comes at the money.
No, after sex come before money is the greatest desire for a man to have. I think somebody says that sexual intimacy, the high you get out of that, the desire of sexual climax is like getting somebody and drug getting a kind of high, is that feeling that you get when you have an orgasm in that. So the sexual desire, sexual drive, the desire to have it. Is
it sex or intimacy the highest?
Good. The sex is the highest. Sex is the biggest drive of mankind. People might try to downplay it as much as they want. No, it is there. You can't take away God-given nature of you to think it. Pray of God as you want. There is something in you that is that
It is the one action that takes the whole body, the whole entire head, foot, hand, everything.
Everywhere,
Takes over everything. Yeah.
everything.
some people want to be so Christian that they don't. Oh, sex don't bother me. Are you kidding me? You're suppressing somebody.
You hear that all the time, right, Pastor John?
All the time from religious folks.
I tell them, I said, you're lying to yourself and to God.
Yeah, you can't fool me.
No, you can't say the person is lying.
Huh?
No, you can't say
You
the
know-
person is lying.
Yeah, you can't.
Just have some
you-
people that's not a cup of tea.
Text. Okay, I'm not a woman, eh? Well, let me tell you something what I have learned over the years. And tell me if I'm wrong, Sister Joan.
There is sometimes it comes up on you. I don't care what you want to say. You must be dead in that area. It comes up on you.
No, listen. No, let me speak for
If it's even once a year.
let me speak for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Sometimes that is not a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. There's people in the world that's not their first cup of tea.
Right. It's not the first cup of tea.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I get that text. They might not have that.
Yeah, I hear you.
They might have that craving, that
Yeah.
ultra
That's intense. Yeah.
body. Your body is fashioned in such a way. Let me tell you something, and correct me if I'm wrong here tonight. Colin, say it if you're wrong, ladies. Just before your menstrual cycle come, isn't there a strong desire for sex, feeling for sex? Is that when your ovulation starts and finish, just between that what we call the so-called safe period, desire for sex is ripe?
Change my faith.
So, you know, answer your question. I think I'm in a perfect way to answer that.
Yeah, answer us, Sister Veronica.
For me
Answer
personally,
that question.
someone who has not engaged in sexual activities since my ex-husband, you know, there is a desire there, but it is a certain part of me that does try to shut it down, that try to suppress that. Because
That's
if
right.
I Pandora's box to open, oh my God, who knows what may come out, right? Who knows what may happen, right? So I suppress that. Now, do I
Yeah.
desire to talk about it? I want to be in the know-how of things, you know, just in case if God sends my husband my way, right? But, you know, the thing about it is that we as women, I think we have the capability of going long periods of time without sexual intercourse, right? Men, however, very short spans of, well, you know, I can't say that. You find some men who sustain from sex, right? For a long
Yeah.
reason, right? Or even
Let me tell you something. No human being, unless confronted with it and presented, I don't know how hungry you are. And you could go on hunger for a long time. Once the food is presented and it is well put together, you will eat
You're
something.
gonna eat.
John, it have some men who could sustain. It have
Yes.
some men that can hold themselves out long. They have some ladies that can hold themselves long.
Yeah.
Very long.
You know what I just said. I said, you know how long it is. If it's presented right and in the right frame of mind, you will eat.
Okay.
I don't care how old you are, how long you keep yourself for. If the right person show up in the right time, in the right place, the right set of words, you will melt and quiver like oil and butter in hot sun.
you know, John, you know how I refrain from all of that? Every man I meet, I say, oh my God, he's so nasty. I put it in my mind, oh, he's so nasty. He probably doesn't bathe. He probably has nasty fingernails, toenails, you know. I don't care how good he looks. I put that in my mind. I said, oh, he must have HIV. You know, I said all the awful things to say, you know what? He isn't what he really what I see in front of me. I put all these thoughts in my head about the man. I said, oh, he must be an awful, you know, person in life. He probably done went to jail. All kind of things come through my mind. And I said, oh no, he's not the one for you. And everyone, it's only one so far that I don't think that way about, right?
Because you haven't met him personally.
No, well, yes, exactly. But when that day come, I may feel the same way about him. Like, oh my God, look at him. Look at his toenails. Or maybe, oh my God, he smells or what, what, we don't know, right? So I'm just waiting for that day to come. But for the most part, that's what I tell myself. And and sometimes you do desire somebody who's already spoken for, I said, oh no, his wife probably don't even like him. I say all kind of things. I come up with a narrative, a story about this person, and they don't even know I'm thinking this way about them.
Well, nice.
So that's your difference. That's your way of quenching your desire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yes.
Suppressing. That's what you said too, that you suppress your desire. What is there? I think we have people on Facebook. Oh, even Minister Walker, good night. You're on. Welcome. Sister Joy. Ali Michelle, I'm not sure who that is. That name sounds familiar. Welcome, guys. We want you to write something. Don't only watch, but ask us something. Say something. Minister Walker, say something. You're out of town tonight, but you're watching. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the whole idea, the notion to believe that you could sustain yourself, and that's fine. People go on hunger strike for 40 days and 40 nights. Some people go. You could keep yourself, and there's nothing wrong keeping yourself. But without keeping yourself, the sexual desire comes up on you, the feeling comes up on you, and you have to have the control over your body now. You have to speak to you.
Of course.
And
yes.
And I say that to say you have to be disciplined.
Yes.
In your mind to control that, but doesn't come. It does come. It does.
Yeah, does have to be in control.
Not too long ago, we had discussed menopause here. All right.
Yeah.
When a woman going through menopause, some women, they don't want to have sex. They don't want to have a man around them. Period. They don't want it. It's that a woman might go.
You don't want nobody close to you.
I know people. I want to bring a lady on the show. She was willing to come on the show one time to talk about how she ended up getting divorced because the husband told her, you always go with your friends and then going for it. But she said definitely she was not having sex with nobody. She didn't feel like having sex. She didn't want to have sex for 5 years. You don't feel like being in love, being intimate with her husband. She finally could go together, but the intimacy, sexual, she didn't want that. She body wasn't
because she was going through menopause.
Yes, and you know, divorcing her, accusing somebody else, and that's the kind of thing. That's why I say men need to learn about the wife's body, understand what goes on with the wife, from PMS to postpartum to the mood swings, all this stuff. I mean, if you ask a man what a one period is a common end of a sentence, some men have no clue. So when you have a conversation about that with some men, what are you talking about? They call it a derogatory name. There's a time when women used to feel shame about having their period. It's a glorious thing. It means that your body is functioning in the way it is. It should be functioning. There's nothing for that. I mean, there was a time when they tell you in the Old Testament, because you're unclean, you shouldn't be around people, you shouldn't be that. But nowadays in this modern society, you have things that could help you to take away the smell and some women have an order when they see in the period. So that sometimes they feel embarrassed to be around people that think they know how their body, how they feel, and how they smell. So again, but if you don't know about it, some people may ridicule you about it, and you may feel less about yourself, you feel unclean yourself, but there's no need to feel bad about having a period. There's no need to have it. And I think men need to be educated about that, and get to know about a woman's body, how it functions. I think women do always ready for sex. And I always say this, women doesn't always ready for sex, men always ready for sex. I ain't got nobody say, men always ready. So I think create a big problem in marriage too when a woman is not ready and a man is always ready. You feel he want to have you and he should have you anytime you want, but not understand that a woman doesn't always ready for sex.
Do we know what causes sexual addiction?
A lot of things. Pornography, the way somebody was raised in the family, what they see happening around them. a whole range of things that could cause that. Whole range of things. It's not one, you can't nail down one aspect to say, well, that is what, but I think pornography in itself plays a big role. Sexual abuse could create that is a
Yep.
Mhm.
a girl who have been sexually molested growing up, a young boy who have been exposed to sexual content before the age of maturity, boy or girl, may lust after it, may desire to have it more because they are always having feel good. I mean, women knows that the first time having sex, you don't want to miss the next week. Next time you see a person, you can't wait to see him next month. The first time a man have sex, you don't want to drop. You want to a week pass. He call, you want to go over, she want to come over. Because sex is such a feeling that it overtakes you. You don't want to, the desire for it is like a kid in a candy store. You know, with the right partner, the right way it's done, and you feel good about it. If it's bad experience in the first time, you don't want to have it again, period. But you don't want to, you're afraid. Yes? And then in most cases, that's women. If they've been raped, have been abused sexually, they don't want to have sex, they don't feel a desire thing to have. But if it's done in the way it should be done, they will desire it all the time. You know, I could eat black cake. I could eat black cake from somebody. I could eat black cake from cakes, and I'd say, me, I don't want black cake, period. You know what I mean? I could eat from Mr. Joe, and I say, man, bring it on next week. I come by you.
Give me a call when you know that I can make it. Say something else.
But it's true. The way it is done will give you a desire to have more of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If your sex is done right, with the right person who understands you, and you know, let me just say something here, because a lot of times people think sex is just going in, it's just penetration, and you know, have a rabbit mentality in the bedroom. But you have this intimate moment with your partner. You know, people don't want to talk about full play, but it's something you do. Is what you know, the sexual language is speak before you even get in the bedroom. Sex might just be the icing on the cake. There are a lot of things I could do before the bedroom, you know. And I heard a joke. Someone shared a joke last time. Your wife go and come let your husband not good in the bedroom, and the guy say, "Have you ever tried on the couch?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, people in Christendom do not feel comfortable talking about sexual desires and sex. They want to talk about tithes and offering. They want to talk about and all this stuff and that, you know. And the first thing when a young girl start dating a guy in church, the first thing they want to do is to get married. No counseling in a sense, but they're afraid to have sex. The person having sex 2 years already, or 6 months already. And then when they get pregnant, they want to go and get married. I say to people, if your daughter, your son get somebody pregnant, this is not the best opportunity to get married. Leave those people alone, let them find themselves. Because forcing them to get married is one of the biggest reasons for the high divorce rate in the church.
Yeah.
Let them be themselves. They make a mistake. You can't continue marriage. Marriage wouldn't be a sexual sin. It's already happened. I'll ask for forgiveness and move on. If they so desire to get married 5 years later, let them be. Let them be. You don't encourage them to sin. You don't want to get them to get into a situation and disobey God and get divorced. Because this is something else again. Because divorce is a sin. God said, I hate it. Why are you doing it? So if God rejects desire and say, no, I don't like it, why you do it? So all of these things come into play. And we need to be mindful of the fact that we are interfering with the institution that God creates.
And a lot of men are out there, because I was speaking to somebody for the past couple of days, to learn to keep themselves clean, shave properly, take a shower before. There's a lot of men that don't. They just figure, okay, I come home after work and I'm clean anyway, so I'm just gonna come. And it's like going to use a bathroom. Like, you don't go on a woman like that. Clean, shave yourself, have yourself neat and tidy. Just as how you want the woman to shave and look good, you should do the same thing too.
Yeah, but you see, that's what sometimes I can't understand. Don't mean to cut this to text. The men, most of the time, you know, would want the ladies to look a certain way, but at the same time, they're not taking care of themselves.
I said that to my wife yesterday. We had a conversation because somebody saw me.
You require that as a mate. You have to require your spouse to maintain themselves, to maintain, you know, keep themselves clean.
And that's a turn off for a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am one of the persons, and people, I love to dress good, I love to smell good, I like to look good, get my nails done, my thing. My wife normally she bought this bubble thing we put the foot in and get the things, my foot for me and stuff like that, right? My feet. I'm saying this to say, someone said to me, "You're always changing up your face." Always, I said, women always change up their face and their hair too. They always look good. And I see some men walking with the wife, and you ask him, "Is this the show? This is the husband for the wife?" I mean, like, his hair is not kept. He's still dressed raggedy, and she looking here nice, nails done, and like, excuse me, brother, fix that thing. You know what I mean? You have to. Both of you have to look good together. When we look, you see your wife looking good and you're walking like a truck hit you and you run away and you don't get the license plate number. You know what I mean? You just get, I say to them, dress nice, look nice. A guy look at me the other day, he always see you. A guy, he said to me, "Man, you always have your shirt inside your t-shirt inside your pants, well dressed." You know what I mean? Don't want to have old shoes in my foot. I'm always trying to present myself good. I think it's important for us men to go to the barber, go to the nail people, get the nails done too. Especially if you're a mechanic, you oil up all week, go and get your nails done for Monday morning. Look good for the weekend. Get your hair done, wear some clean clothes, and take care of yourself. Make yourself look presentable. And let your wife desire you, lust after you too, not looking at somebody and say, "This guy look good," and then
because some men just think that they're the only one should desire you. You should desire them, for them to look and smell the same way how they want you to be. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get complaint on those things that he desires me to look like this, but at the same time, he's not.
I see that.
So it's both ways. You desire me to be clean and look good, look sexy for you. We expect you to look the same way too.
Like Tex was saying, you have to look good. You have to smell good. You have to, I tell you, look good, smell good, and broke is not a bad thing.
At all.
The way you present yourself, like
Yes.
The time my friend dropped me to work when I don't have my car, I was working condition, I take it. And one day he said to me, "What cologne do you use?" So after he dropped me for a while, and I told him what I use. I think I have a bottle here, ladies. I don't advertise those who use Avon. It's called Mesmerize.
It's nice, yeah.
That's my cologne of choice. Right? Imari is another nice one I use. The ladies one, I love to use that one.
That is a very nice one too, Imari. It's really strong.
And I love to put them on. I mean, I love ladies' cologne perfume. I don't put a little too much, but so I think you have to smell good. You don't have your your mouth must be smelling good. If you know you're on bad bread, buy some gum and have in your pocket so you meet somebody to talk you pop or two you meet. It's true. Take care of yourself, guys. Present yourself. You have your body. Keep it clean. That's the temple of the Lord. And it's saying your body is the temple of the Lord. That's what he says. So you got the temple of the Lord. Keep it good. Keep it good. Try to, another thing I say, let me say this to us, we've done this. Men, don't forget to go to a doctor too. I'm lapsed by a couple.
It's so important.
But go until you get really sick to realize that you need a doctor. We
need to have a one-on-one show on that.
Men's health is important, and while we talk more about sexual desires and lust and stuff like that, and the last time we was here, Sister Joan, we talk about the lady who spoke about her husband not be able to satisfy in the bedroom as used to, right? And that's another thing. Men, when they reach a certain age, the condom start coming. They can't perform as they used to. And there's no shame in the game, guys. Get medicated, get fixed, get the proper drug, wife, get the proper food to help him bring back this thing,
Before sickness, there's a lot of men out there that cannot please young ladies.
Yeah, because sometimes they again, another thing that causes that it could be diabetes and they're unaware of it, that could cause them to not have a proper erection. So men go into erectile dysfunction, not because they want to. It just have to be high blood pressure, low blood pressure. It could
Not
be
in that aspect I was saying, like some men, they just come on and you and they finish and they go.
yes. And sometimes it's just stress could cause that too. Sometimes ever excitement after they have it for a long time and they get tonight is a long time, they blow the fuse. Boom. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but just ignorance, John, just ignorance from the very beginning, even from your young adulthood when you start your sexual experience. Some men just haven't been taught
Exactly.
Yeah.
to please.
That's what I'm speaking about. Just a toilet, the experience. Like you go to the bathroom, you finish and you walk out.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, how many people here parents sat them down and teach them about sexual education? None of us parents sit down here and tell us about how to have sex.
No,
Most of you
we're in the older group.
know, you'll find out that most of us learn our sexual experiences from the TV.
Or from our friends.
From our friends, yes, and those things. But none of us parents sat us down and teach us about sex. I think only the Indian culture in what they call Kama Sutra, where they teach young girls how to please their husband in India, and that's
John,
in place right now. It's happening now that they have this teachings of how to please a husband sexually, teaching those things now, right? So it's like financial literacy. We have not been taught financial literacy in school, so we learn to go to school, get a job, and have children, buy a house, and have a car, and then we live, right? It's more than that. We're afraid to go into debt. You think that is a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. That is a good thing if you use it right. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things we have not been taught, and so we are suppressed and oppressed by our imagination and things that we did not know. What you don't know, not that will kill you. You see what you do, what you know. You know what I'm saying? The things that they teach you, go to school, get a good education, get a good job. And a lot of people who go have a good job and get education, they're still broke and miserable. They're still divorcing.
That's right.
You know, so what is it? How we need to, you see, and we need to teach those stuff in church. We need to you see, the church is the first institution, the body that should be educated, and the home church, the parents home to teach their children those things, talk to their children about those things. Let them know, fathers, stay in your home with the children, stay together. The unity, the family, God desires man and woman to stay together. That's what he desires. And raise children, godly children, and have those stuff. But you see, the devil is so cunning, coming down, and it deceives us. A lot of us. Church have the first, right now, I think according to Pastor, I feel less than 70%. Yeah. Of marriage in the church and in divorce, 70%. That's a high number for an institution of God. We have a serious problem.
I think it's changed now. It just said I'm 60. The stat was changed to 60%.
70%.
No, 70. Yeah.
90% of divorces are filed by women. And among college graduates is at almost 80 to 90%.
Yikes.
Educated people who you think will have with master's degree and PhDs, highest educated people still get in divorce because they don't understand marriage. They don't understand the function of a relationship. They understand how money works, some of them. They understand how business works, but how marriage works, they don't understand it. They don't read the real manual on how to keep your marriage, how to keep your relationship together is right there before them, Ephesians chapter 6, chapter 5.
Well, lots of people don't go by what the Bible says, Pastor John.
Can you imagine driving?
People are using their own way and going away all the way from the Bible. It's nothing, they're following the instruction that is in the Bible, how we should manage our marriage, what we should do. Lots of people are falling away from that. And that's why there's so many problems in the church or in marriages, because they're not following the compass, what we have written out in Ephesians, how, to keep our marriage and what we should do from what we not do. People are just following their own concept of what it should be. And that's why a lot of things are ruined. Even with family in the home, they're not teaching them the biblical way, how it should be. It's not. It's not. And so what's going to happen is that they're going to have problems in their marriage because they're not seeing the example in the home. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. And so it's going to go over. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. I think we don't spend enough time teaching and talking to our children
Yes.
about that. I mean, I try my best to put in the time I get with Jay to talk about this stuff.
Mhm.
So I try my best. I mean, I'm not since Jay was 10 years old, 11. I teaching her certain things, you know.
Yes.
And I thank God for talk you came in because I at one time I think I can't do this by myself, you know.
By
So
the way, I saw her on Saturday and wow, does she look beautiful and well put together.
Yes.
Yes, I was admiring her. I says, wow, you guys are doing a good
Great
job.
parents. Great parents.
Yes, yes. She looked, I couldn't believe her in this long, tall heel, white shoes, tall like my hands, and she's walking like a model in it. I was very impressed. Good work, Pastor Johnny and Sister Tacky.
thank you very much. You see,
Mhm.
I think when I look back and sometimes parents try so hard with the children, so hard, and not the parents' fault. You know. A lot of times parents, and there's some parents in church that try hard with the children. I know,
Mhm.
and for some reason they leave that house and they meet some friends. Peer pressure,
Oh yeah.
erase everything or almost everything instill in your children, and you.
Mhm.
know, she mother is a pastor and she father is a pastor and da 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 da. How the children sometimes not you, you know. You do
Mhm.
all that you do, and the children
Yeah.
with their friends who come from a home that have no guidance.
Yes.
And they say if
No
you
guidance.
have around 9 broke people, if you don't conscious to becoming number 10.
Mhm.
If you have 9 people who have no godly brother of see and hang around them, guess what happened to you?
Oh, it's after 10, guys. Yeah.
And
So-
what's your
I
bedtime?
gotta run. Yeah, I gotta go.
All right. Thank you so
Nice
much. We
conversation
appreciate it.
tonight, and thank you for allowing me to come in tonight.
Anytime. Every time. We appreciate you.
You're
Thank
not
you very much.
invited to come to this show, you know that, right? You just
Mhm.
No, but it's just that when I do so long on Tuesday, then my Wednesday get crashed because I have a lot in one day.
Wednesday morning, Wednesday night. Yeah, we know, you know. But take your time. Always
Yeah. Take your time. What do you do in the morning?
I'll be showing in the morning, every morning. Text us to show every morning.
Oh, the what's it called again?
Let me see in worship.
Yes, yes. And it's 10
I
o'clock.
invite you in from 8 to 10.
Oh, 8 to 10. Well, tomorrow morning. Look here, when I wake up 5 o'clock or 5:30, this morning I went to prayer at 6 after 6. I can't wake up. But then if I remember, sometimes I will be on watching. Sometimes I put in that I'm watching you guys. So
Yeah.
I'll try and come on tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, all righty.
Yeah.
All right. Bless you. Thank
Love you
you.
guys, and thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Very
Have a good
good.
night.
Love you.
Thank you,
All
Jeff.
righty.
Love you.
And
Bye.
remember, you're already covered.
Veronica.
Okay, Sister Tex, bless you, love you. Okay, so let me ask this question. When you're addicted to something or to sex, then because that's what we're talking about, would you classify as out of control?
Out of control.
If you're addicted, would you?
Yeah, you see, like I said, you know, I'll be always accusing my wife chicken in the pot. Mommy, that chicken again.
Mhm.
It's good. Let's go back for another piece before the dinner.
Yeah.
So sex is like that. The desire for it is uncontrollable desire.
Mhm.
You can't do it, or because it tastes so good. Perhaps you know
Mhm.
you have it for the very first time, and that
Mhm.
one person will having that sex for the next 6 years, and that person make you feel so relaxed in the present. The sexual encounter is so entertaining, so engaging, so
Mhm.
gratifying.
Okay, so you get addicted to it, and you're out of control sometimes.
And sometimes because you want to be loved and you're searching for that first feeling that you had, from the very first time, and you never get it again. And everybody that talk to you, because you don't have no stable person, and every time somebody come in your life, they don't feel like that first person. So you're looking for that fix. That sometimes some people and drugs will tell you, nah, that drug didn't feel good. I want the real McCoy. So they still looking for the real McCoy. They become addicted to sex, looking for the real thing. And that's why it's important. It's very, very important that when it's important. I'm saying this here to young people who are designed to have sex for the very first time, be very careful. Because once you break that seal, there's no turn back.
Right.
There's no turning back. You always want to have it because it feels good. Sex is a sweet thing. It feels good.
It's yes.
It
can be wonderful.
That's why it is said that when your marriage is for your husband, for that one person, right through life. Yeah? Keep it that way. But you see, unfortunately, we don't all have that tolerance to stay one person.
Right.
That person who have caused you to consummate your relationship through sexual intercourse. And you feel like, I don't know, and the next person comes, you never feel like that first time. So if you're not like, again, if you can control the desire to be satisfied with the one that you have, and you'll keep looking for it. So be very careful where you put yourself, who you lay down before.
Right.
Person could be that person for life.
What do you think, Sister Veronica? Do you think it can be addicted, or it's called addiction? Because we're talking about sex mainly tonight. Do you think we are out of control?
To be honest with you, I don't have no reference for that. I do think that it is something that we should not experience. Everything should be a balance. I think if a person is out of control in that area, then I think that it reflects on other areas of that person's life. And I think because of an addiction, they are affected by it, and other people are too. Even when it comes down to their work, church, community activities, everything's affected by that. We were talking about earlier about what causes a sex addiction. Working in the school system, I remember seeing this child who was, I think, first grade, who would sit at her desk and just masturbate, right? And at first, and when the teacher brought it to my attention, I was shocked. I was like, no, it can't be. So she was like, watch the child and see what goes on. And so we ended up having to go into a meeting with that child's parent about that. And the child parent said that she didn't think that anything was wrong with it, that was natural. But, to each his own, we all have different experiences when it comes down to things like that. But I think that when a person, too much of anything is not good for us. Like I said, you have to have a balance. And if you don't have a balance, then it just shows that you're out of control. And
that's right.
So nobody wants to be around you if you're, and I see some men that all they talk about is sex. And I said, wow, do you talk about anything else, right? Is there anything else to talk about?
So you would say they're addicted to talking about sex?
Well,
maybe talking about it, but I look at him sometimes. I said, he probably, ain't worth a quarter. That's what I say to myself. He probably ain't worth a quarter because, I truly believe that if a man is experienced, if he's, desiring to please his partner, he won't say it. But you find some men who boost and brag all the time, and then when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, they probably not doing what they say they would do. Yeah. So yeah, I think that when it comes down to sex, it should be a balance. And I would not want to come in contact with somebody who talks about those type of things all the time. I will refrain from being in that person's company.
So suppose you're already married to the person?
I would never be married to somebody like that.
Why? Isn't talking about sex beautiful?
talking about it, but if you're wanting somebody to experience that with you all the time, I know I'm not that kind of person. So I would not be a right fit for that person. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what kind of person I am right now, because
Pastor John, I think we have to have a one-on-one session with Sister Veronica off the air and just find out where she is and stuff like let her ask us questions.
There's something.
That
Veronica,
would be good.
Veronica knows
Yes.
that right now. The thing with Veronica is she have a desire to be filled, and she don't want to mess it up with the wrong person.
Yes,
I think that's what she.
right.
Very
Veronica,
important.
am I right about that?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people who are refraining from relationship, not because they don't want to have one, not that they
Yes.
have a desire to have one. I think the nitty-gritty is that people have been through some terrible times, yes, and because of that terrible relationship they've been through, they're taking that time off to evaluate their relationship, evaluate themselves, to see if that makes sense. Or should I just remain single, humble, and go through life like that for the rest of my life, and not to be bothered with this content, to be content in contention with somebody else? I prefer be alone than be in contention all the time. So I think some people sit back and reevaluate themselves. I don't want to push myself into a relationship right now. Yes, my biological clock is clicking and it's going harder and harder. But for me, I don't want the contention. A lot of people could have a relationship without the contention. That's why a lot of people who married, they do their thing, they do their own, they come back and do their own thing. So nobody bother nobody. When they're ready to come together intimately, they come together intimately. Otherwise, they go about doing the things as individuals. So they won't have to have no contention. You know, some people prefer, come and visit me. I'm married to you, but right now we can't live together because I want to do my thing my way. When we're ready to be together, we come together. Otherwise, you stay in your space, I stay in my space. Some people have red line and red and green line and yellow line in their homes. You know that you don't cross certain time, and that. So it's kind of tough. So people have those kind of feelings in their relationship and in themselves. They're trying to sort out their own self. Because sometimes people make mistakes for 10 years. They've been going through partners 2, 3, 4, 5 times and realize I'm not getting nowhere. I'm not getting ahead. Everybody else getting ahead. What am I going changing partner like musical chairs? And I'm not having the fun that I should be having. I'm not enjoying. I'm just enjoying the relationship. I think people come to a point, a lot of people, especially women, come to a point, look, I can't handle it. I can't tolerate that anymore. And they walk. Yeah. And some men, I think there's one survey that showed that most men want to maintain a family. Women who can tolerate some things that men do in the relationship. So the people go out, leave them and go. And sometimes when they leave, they miss the person they have. You might have fault, but then they have to cope with not having him around to fix this, to fix that, to do this, to do that. And then we say, oh, you should watch on the car, you should put the gas, you should clean that, you should do this. And then all of a sudden they miss all of that for one mistake or 2 mistakes that he had made. So a lot of times the desires is there, and people have to come to the space in their head. Look, let me sit back, and I think Veronica is probably saying, let me just take a breather. Let me find myself in the right shape and if I frame of mind to accommodate somebody in my life at this stage. Because at this stage, Veronica don't want nobody to come and just come and go again. At that point, she wants someone to stay forever now. She wants a companion, somebody could stay with her, somebody could love her for who she is, somebody could embrace her spirituality, her humanness. You know, whoever she is, she wants somebody to embrace that. And she's making up her mind to be all good to that person as well. So one of the things about relationships, if you have to start loving yourself, then you start loving other people. And I think when you come to that point where you start evaluating who you are and where you are with yourself, it makes it much easier for you to accommodate somebody into your life that want to have a true and meaningful relationship.
And not only that, you'd have less tolerance of people who you know that don't fit into your life. So you quickly eliminate those people. And that's what I find myself in that role now. Just, you know, I go online and I meet people, and, you know, just as quick as I meet them, I'm eliminating.
Right? It's just checking box, check box. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just like this one gentleman I was talking to, and even though my heart is in Nigeria, I still try to keep myself open, right, to meet new people, because I think that we as individuals, we can learn from other people, right? We learn because we're in conversation. We look at other people's experience and what they're doing in their lives. So this one particular person here is like, the person said that they was a spiritual person, but then, you know, when you come to find out you have 2 conversations with this person, you realize that, you know, they use profanity. So what they're saying online is really a lie, right? It's not, they're not who they say they are.
Right.
And, you know, tell a person, okay, I don't mind conversating with you, but then you have to eliminate the profanity. And then, you know, they either honor it or they don't honor it. And I've learned that there's so many things now, and it's really scary, to be honest with you. I find myself eliminating people for things that I know I have low tolerance for. Low tolerance. You know, I'm not going to tolerate somebody who's lying. I'm not going to tolerate somebody who's just talking a whole bunch of talking, really not saying anything valid, right? And I just realized that, you know, you know, people who hang out in the streets who really don't have a, you know, stability in their home, you know, those kind of people, I just say, oh, no, I don't think that it's going to work, you know. So I'm just at a different stage of life right now, and I don't mind waiting for the right person. I don't mind waiting, you know. I think that in life, we all should know ourselves and evaluate ourselves, and that way we can choose wisely, and it can be for a lifetime, John, a lifetime. And that's what I want, a lifetime, not a hit and run, not a weekend getaway,
Not a drive-by.
No,
but a long-term, you know, thing. So
I got it. I have the opinion that people need to have have meaningful relationships. Yeah, it's important to be yoked with that person on almost every level. You know, everybody won't possess all the qualities that you want, right? But you must be willing to compromise to work with certain people. I mean, I understand the lying and the cheating stuff. Nobody want to deal with a cheating spouse, right? Or a lying spouse all the time. What I was the guys on the street, and then you've been sleeping in somebody's house next door or down the street. You know, so those kind of things is what you want to eliminate in a relationship. But there is people again who have sexual addiction, and not necessarily that you don't look good or you don't have sex good with them. They just have that desire to have sex with multiple partners. It's something they grow up with, they see it and they enjoy it in their youthfulness, and they still never really get over it. They still want to live that life. So that too could be pose a problem in a relationship. But how do you keep that man sexually active in your life? It will make all the difference whether he go out or not. I'm just saying, you know, you're cheating man, or a cheating man, or cheating woman, or a cheating woman. There is elements of conversation person needs to have with that person. You know? And I think that's where textbook always speak about unpacking the bag. Don't be afraid to ask person about their sexual desires, what their sexual preferences are before you get them to marry to somebody. You know, so all those things
Can you hold that? Suppose somebody tell you their sexual preference and it's not something that you want to do.
You have a right to express that. No, that is not my forte. I don't desire those things. All right. From that person. No, you have to decide if you want to continue with that person. That person decide you want to continue with you, and don't say yes just because you love the person physically, because they attract with certain things on them and with them and what they have, and you compromise that part I don't like just that to gain that thing what the person have. If you know that somebody you never want to compromise, don't do it. You know, because sometimes people compromise what they don't want because they see something bigger than what they want. And then that small thing create a big problem later on. So if you know it, they'll let you know, be knowing that across the board for that. If sometimes you know people get eliminated for you'll be driving for all your years and make a one left turn and get a ticket for $200. You know what I mean? So what's my point? My point is if you don't like something up front, do not accommodate it. When you accommodate, Anytime any accommodate, you have to maintain it. Yeah?
Mhm.
Accommodate, you have to maintain it. Once
Right.
you move with a person with that desire, you have to live with it. Because that person,
Mhm.
you accept a person with that condition, you have to live with it. For better,
Mhm.
once the
It's
person,
the worst.
you accept it. So don't, when you get married, don't try to change it because you accept what the person is already. If you can't,
Mhm.
don't try to feel when you get married. It's not going to work. It's not
Exactly.
100 times over. You have to say, well, I'll change him, I'll change him, I'll change him, and then the divorce. Because
Mhm.
a dog sucking egg, you ain't going to stop if there's always egg in his presence. Hmm?
Mm.
You're not going to change it. You're going to keep sucking the egg. So unless you prefer take the away, take falls out of your yard, there's no egg. You just
So
So
John, and
Veronica?
I have a question. I have a question. It's kind of off the topic, but when you're vetting a person, should you consider what time they're home? If they're home, if they're out every night past 9 or 10 o'clock, is that a reason to eliminate a person?
well, why are they out? You know, that's what the conversation is. Why are they out late? What they doing outside late? If they like hang out in the bar with their friends and stuff like that, and you know, well, that's not when you're married. You married the person to be with you in the middle of the night. You know, 9 o'clock, 10
She
o'clock.
says dating. She says when you're dating. Isn't that what it says, Sister Veronica?
Yeah,
Date or vetting, when you're vetting a person.
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. So
So you're not married, yeah.
in the vetting process, you know this person stays out late at night, right?
Mhm.
You desire to have somebody in your bed that kind of hours in the night with you. Now, is that person willing to compromise to cut out all this late night because he don't have nobody, you don't have nobody, and part that's the reason why you're out, hang out with somebody. So in the vetting process, you ask him. So if we happen to get married, would you cut out the late night? Because I would desire to be home with me those kind of time. I don't want to be by myself at night again, and that's why I want a partner to be home with me. I want to share that moment with somebody, not you go and spend from 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever, and even until 11 o'clock in the night in the bar with your friends. This is not why I want to get married to somebody like that. I want somebody to be home with me that time. Come home when I'm cooking to help me finish cook or somebody. Just keep me company from 6 to 12 before I sleep. We need to have some romance in the stone between that time. I need you to be there. I don't want you to be in the bar with your friends. I don't invite you to go to leave me home. I invite you before us to be together. You know? So
Right.
and I say to
Mm.
people all the time, when you're married, your friends, yes, you have a good friends, have a two girlfriends, but your real intimate moment should be with you and your partner, not with your friends anymore. There's something that leave some people behind, and that may be some of your good friends. You're married to somebody to cultivate a relationship. You can't cultivate away from each other, or better stay apart. Because once you bring that person into your space, the tendency is to have a genuine relationship, friendship with that person, to be your partner for life. Not
Exactly.
you want to share your partner with the guys in the bar. You know, it don't work like that. You know, there's places if my wife don't get invited, I'm not going. Sorry, I'm not gonna go. You know, when you send an invitation to my house, make sure you send for the family. You know, I desire that. If my wife don't want to go, it's a different story. You know, if she have something else to do, but and I will go to honor it. You know, and respect for the person, but I'm not going to have you send invitation only for me alone to come. It's not gonna happen. You know, if I'm single, fine. But if I have a wife, I hope that the person respect that at least me and my wife could come to the dinner, the whatever party you have it. You know, I don't live by myself, and people should know that. If somebody is married, you send for Mr. and Mrs. Yeah, some people have elimination. I don't like your wife. I don't want to come to me. I want to send for him alone. Are you kidding me? Sister Joan, can you imagine somebody send an invitation to you and don't want Mr. Michael come to the wedding? I don't like Michael. Da, 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 da. You know, I don't like Joan. Joan too stuck about herself. You know, some of your husband they like, you know. So they want him alone to come. So they will have the way with him. And Mr. Michael to say, no, I'm not going to know Joni, my Jamaican girl, I'm not leaving her home at all. Yeah? My Jamaican girl going me everywhere I'm going. Right, Sister John? You're muted. I think it's still
somebody invited him to a wedding in US and didn't invite me.
See?
And I asked him, "Are you gonna go?" And it's somebody that I don't know, a
Mm.
woman, and I don't know who it is.
That is
And
enough.
I said, "Are you gonna go?" And he says, "Oh no."
Huh.
So I didn't say anything else.
This person is out of place because she
Oh,
very much out
yeah,
of.
but yeah. How can you know that the person is married? Did I know you? Yes or no? I inviting just the person.
You
I
know,
would never go. First thing, if you're not inviting me and my husband, I'm not coming.
okay, watch what happened when I was getting married the first time, right? My brother got married just about 3 months before me. All right. He came to my wedding with another woman. I tell him I don't want him in my wedding. I said, no,
And he's married?
he's married 3 months before me. But he
Uh-huh.
brought his girlfriend to the wedding. I tell him, no, not happening. Keep her, she's not coming to my wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, she's not coming to my wedding. Keep her in the
You
hotel.
should put it like this to him.
Huh?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, I tell
That,
him, she's not
you
coming.
mean 3 months, not even some years, 3 months, Pastor John?
I tell him, no, she's not coming to my wedding. She's not coming to the wedding.
No, I
No.
wouldn't allow it either.
She's not, I have met your wife. Your wife, my sister-in-law,
Mm,
that you have children with, and you come there, bring a girlfriend.
no.
That woman, no, you're happening in my wedding.
Out
No,
to order.
no.
Jane. Mm.
That is so vain. Eh? Can you imagine?
Not coming
And
to,
then somebody comes to the wedding and go back and tell her,
you know what I mean?
tell the wife that he came with a girlfriend. How would you feel?
Me?
So did he come?
No, he came, but she didn't come to the wedding.
Okay.
No, she came down to come to the wedding, but that keep her in the hotel. She ain't coming to my house. She ain't come to the wedding. She ain't come to reception. Not with church, not reception, not to my house. So I don't want to see her. I don't know who.
Mhm.
If I can't meet you, if I can't meet, I don't meet your girlfriend. It ain't happening.
Right.
No.
I'm telling you.
It's broader there. Mm.
That's all before I've been church person. All before I become a Christian, born again. That's all years before that. No, I wasn't having it.
That is very rude.
Yeah.
And Mr. Joan, you said you didn't know the lady. That's why you didn't get an invite, because you don't know her and she probably don't know you.
That's the best time for her to get to know her, though.
I think it's more than that.
I do too, but
I think it's more than that. I didn't go into anything after I asked, "Are you gonna go?" And no, I didn't go into anything else.
Yeah. But Pastor Michael didn't make the right decision.
Yes. He knows that. If he had say something else, there's gonna be something else coming after. So he just scratch it done and says no. Because when you said no, what am I gonna ask you next?
Yeah.
Right. So I just leave it right there. But I'm very sensitive to things, right?
Yes.
And
all
so
are.
I'm very sensitive to things, and I can actually tell in my head at time what is what. So he says no for me not to go any further.
You know,
Smart.
Yes.
They tell him he's a very smart man.
Yeah, he is. He is in his own way. But I always tell him that, remember that I'm older than you. Been there, done that.
You know, I often go out to Gray and stuff, to the Friday and stuff like that. And maybe I'm away from work and past you. All right. It's not that I don't want my wife to go with me. And sometimes she here with Abby or holiday, and Janice is not here, so we can Abby had to go to bed to go to school, right? And sometimes she want to do quick rest. So I would not, if I pass for 5 minutes and then come home, I'm not gonna stay no long period of time and my wife home. You know, I don't do that. If I go anywhere, I invite my wife, if I get invitation, my wife comes with me. You know, she has to be baby. I'm not gonna go to a wedding without my wife or go to something. No. If she has to decide not to go, and that's the only, because I know I'm going, I keep myself quiet. I'm not going to do. Yeah.
Right. Why would you go to a wedding without your wife or your husband?
Send an invitation to me to a wedding, and in that Mr. happening.
Right. You said, you know what, go ahead. I'm doing something else, or I'm gonna be busy or something, so I can't go. But you can't send an invitation without inviting the both of you.
I made a
That's
decision.
rude. That's very rude. I would think that's very rude.
Very rude. Out of-
I think that's very rude, and I wouldn't go. I would make sure tell you if my husband cannot come, then I won't be coming.
Yeah. Mhm. You're
That's
right.
very rude. But you know about it. There are things that we would agree on living in this world. Those people in the island, they think so differently, and things that we would not agree with, they agree with it, vice versa. Because some people said this is nothing. It's okay for them to invite one person and don't invite the other. We don't see it that way. We think that is rude.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We think it's rude, but they wouldn't think it's rude. They would think it's okay. They probably just don't want to invite you, or they don't like you.
Well, they well know, they understand the assignment. They
Of
know
course.
what they're doing. It's a process of elimination by design. I'm not in no position to compromise my relationship for somebody else who understands the assignment and try to disrupt my relationship with my wife. No, that could create a big barrier, a big problem. You know what they're doing? The devil is very cunning. Yes?
Yes.
Prepared to let nobody destroy that. No, it ain't gonna happen. No. It's not gonna happen. We have to learn to respect other people's relationship. Yeah?
Of course.
Whatever the relationship is, whether the common law, the married, the common law, whatever it is, let those persons be who they are. If you don't want the one, don't invite the other.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
That's my position.
That's right.
Don't
Yeah,
invite-
and people will tend to be hurt too.
Yes.
When you do those things, people will be hurt.
I think that when you're gonna invite like that, you have to set the tone and say, hey, I'm a married person, and wherever I go, my spouse has to come too.
Of course.
And I think if you say it off the rip, then they'll know how to respect you from that point on, and they'll either make the correction and say, you're right, bring your wife, please bring your wife, or please bring your husband with you. Like if they have other intentions, then they'll just say, oh, well, it's up to you. And when people say it's up to you, then you kind of know where they're coming from. They, like you said, have a different mentality, and they will accept just one person coming versus both persons coming. Yeah.
Yes.
That's something that I experienced. My wife is experiencing it. Since I'm married to my wife, there's a lot of women who don't talk to my wife. There's a lot of invitations I get to go to certain places. I don't get them anymore because I don't want my wife there. They don't invite me. And I say, fine, I'm happy with that because I'm with the best person of my life. You know what I mean? So some people, if they see me, they never call her until they see her with me to show that they feel they show the respect. But they meet her, they won't call her by herself and say hi, sister Nataka. They won't do it, even in church. Because some people are still upset that I married the wrong person. I should marry that person. I should marry this person. But
after so many years, how can you marry the wrong person? Don't they see?
Let me tell you something. Some people are still hurt.
You married 12 years now. Is that what you said?
12 years.
And they still think you're married to the wrong person after all these years?
Yeah, some people still feel that way, And why you didn't marry to that person? Why this person was your wife friend and this and that? I don't marry to my wife friend. You know what I mean? Because I don't do that. I mean, people have their things and they have the way of thinking. I don't think the way people think. I'm not led by my flesh. If that was the case, I'm led into the wrong direction. So I'm not willing, even at this stage, to compromise anything.
That's right. Doesn't make no sense.
I'm not gonna do that.
Doesn't make no sense. Well, we're gonna conclude right here.
Yeah,
we're gonna conclude right here. I think we did well tonight on the. I had one more question, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna go into it. It's gonna take another hour. We did well tonight, I think.
Yes.
Really, really well. We come to some agreement.
They want to share her desires, but that's okay.
Who?
It's the text.
Yes, Sister Tex. Oh yeah. Sister Tex, do you want to share that? Yeah.
On a
Yeah.
serious,
Well, that's
on a serious note,
yeah.
I think in Christendom, and in this morning I was listening to Leviticus, and I'm thinking, boy, we're missing the boat in terms of our spirituality, you know. And when we skip over certain scriptures and we use some just to our benefit, it does God a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't talk about sex in the church and encourage persons to be with their spouse, to love their spouse, to emphasize the strength of a family, is the strength of the church. Yeah. And if we don't focus on teaching people those stuff, right, we could miss a whole lot, and we could mess up a whole relationship because people never taught how to leave the person, you know. And then, you know, if you help cultivate the right mindset in the family, teach them good values, help them to understand their role as a family, how the family structure affects the church system, how the church system affects the community, how the community affects the nation. Well, everything starts in the home.
Right at home.
If we do not cultivate the right mindset in the home, the church would not be in the space where it should be. You know, we have a dysfunctional family, we have a dysfunctional church. You have a dysfunctional church, you have a dysfunctional community. You have a dysfunctional community, you have the dysfunctional country. You have a dysfunctional world. And it is evident today that the dysfunctional family affects the church and make it dysfunctional. The church dysfunctionality affects the community. And I see and I know of my church before, the one I'm in right now, the level that is expressed in the community, that the people in the community they disgusted with it. You know, so tells you that the level of distrust and disgust that the community have towards the church in the community, that they don't want to be part of it. You see? And all because the church mess up, the community become messed up as well.
Yes, really.
Hospital, we have to be good doctors and nurses of faith.
Yes.
To ensure that the people in the community are served as God will serve the multitude. We have to be God representative ambassadors in the community. And if we miss that, we miss the people. We lose them.
That's right. Mr. Veronica, what do you think? And then after you're finished, you're just gonna close us off in prayer, please.
I think Veronica gone?
Oh, she's gone?
So I don't see. I think Motorola is gone off. Let me check and see.
Okay. She's on, but probably.
I think I see a note from her there. Hold on, see what her note.
What she said.
I got one note. Probably she had to go early too. Let me see what her note.
Okay. All right.
Well, we come to the end anyway, so that's fine.
Yes. We come to oh, she said she's gone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We come to the end. Yes. So we just want to say thanks to everyone that was watching us. Minister Walker, he was watching us. But he said there was some problems with he couldn't hear, he could see us, but he wasn't hearing too well. But we want to say thanks for at least trying. Pastor Joy was on, and there was another person that was on also.
Tricia Grant was on, that's from Grenada. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Carlos, somebody call us.
Oh, Carlos was on, okay. And then Sister Sharon Samuel was on tonight. Thank you, Samuel.
Oh, because those are the show up on mine.
Show up on mine and
Jennifer. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Jennifer.
Very good.
On a different platform, so some people watching on YouTube.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we want to thank them very much for watching. Hopefully next week they will bring somebody else with them. We always let our topics be interesting. And I want to tell the public, if there's a topic that you would love to discuss, please send it in to us. We will discuss it for sure, because there are lots of people going through different things in their marriage or wanting to get married, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to, solve the problem. So please send in your question to us, and we will try and answer it as the best as we can from the Bible and from our own marriage also. So I want to say thanks very much for watching us, Pastor John. It's always be a pleasure, Sister Tech. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Sister Veronica, as usual, God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. And so we just want to give God thanks tonight for another wonderful night that He has given unto us. We have come together in unity, in love, and on one accord, and we have discussed the topics that He has placed on my heart or what somebody have asked me. And so we put them forth, and God, thank you for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you have given unto us so we could answer these questions tonight. Continue, Holy Ghost, to bless Cham FM and to bless Pastor Michelle. Together, Holy Spirit, we thank you for them, because if it wasn't for them, then we wouldn't be sitting here tonight discussing, these topics. Continue to bless them. Continue to make a way out of no way. Or these things take money to do. And so, God, we thank you for sending from the east, from the west, from the north, and from the south to bless them to continue. We give you praise tonight. We give you glory and we give you honor. And we tell you thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen and amen. Pastor John?
All
Good
right.
night. Mr. Walker is out tonight working. He's out all week, and I'm sure he's there waiting for me to call him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go.
Hmm.
Good night, and we will meet soon again.
Let us remind folks in Toronto on the 4th and the 5th of August, the
Right.
Hope in Christ International Ministry is having a Blockorama, yes,
Mhm, mhm,
happening at 1300 Finch Avenue West. And
mhm.
all are invited to be part of that. Come on out.
Mhm.
And there's also
And that's Carabao on a weekend.
a weekend. And the
Mhm.
weekend after that will be JMFM Family Day at All Bills Park. That's up on Bathurst and
Is that the Saturday?
Saturday, the 12th of August.
Hey. And I wanted to do something on the Friday night, so I have to put those things in consideration because we're not going to wake up.
The Friday night.
And I think this Saturday I'm flying the Saturday.
Oh.
No. The week after. I'm flying the week after. So I'm gonna try and come.
The Friday night also is the New Life Washington Center talent show night. So
Oh,
if
there you go.
you have a poem, you're welcome to come and present it to the church at 25 Western Road as well. It's happening.
Yeah, tomorrow, this week.
Yeah, this weekend, Saturday. At 6 p.m., 6 7 yeah, it will be happening. So we invite everyone to come on out to that. Invite to come on to church with us on a Sunday morning as well at 925 Western Road in the city of Toronto. And our t-shirts are out there getting ready for the t-shirts for our family day, which is already. And J-Run is happening August.
But you're selling the t-shirts?
Yeah.
How much?
$20 for t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. For the event.
So how do we get them?
Well, you order it online from me. I will send you a picture of them.
Yeah.
So you could see and you say what color you want in them.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so you could choose.
Because at least if we don't come, at least we contribute to it.
Yes. So that, and then on the 26th of August, Gospel Launch presents first time in Toronto, Jesus Youth, J-Run Nurse, live in Toronto. $30 for ticket in advance and $40 at the door. 1300 Finch Avenue West, Kill and Finch in Toronto. Tickets on sale now at Eventbrite. Yes. So that is that. This year's Family Day event will be in a loving memory of Denise Rodney. That's our in the park, because she was the one who asked us to have a family day, and she passed away last January 2021. 22.
Okay.
Yeah, she passed away, and that's why she was not at all thing. So yeah, it's happening. What is happening? Yeah. So that's it. That's about it. And those Grenadians also, to all Grenadians, there is the Booker club community. in Toronto is having a family on the 29th in the park as well, Donsview Park. It is.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is another event for Grenadians again, and the friends of Grenadians and the community to come. So yeah,
Alrighty.
to the Gem FM guys.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Pastor,
Yeah. Yes. Good night, sir.
blessings.
Blessings to you and your family. Say hi to the family for me, please.
Definitely, most definitely.
All right. Take it easy.
What to do before 3 o'clock tonight?
Yes. You have music to play.
We have magazine to work on. I got, oh my God, post.
Mhm.
Yes, I gotta go.
Well, and you have to go to bed to wake up to go to work.
Yes.
All right. You have a long night ahead. Bless you. Take care.
All right, blessings. Okay, let me find that song and let it go. Where is it? Yes, intimacy in marriage. Here it goes, folks. Ooh. Okay, here we go.
I've been working hard. I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be. But you stay here right beside me. Watch as the storm goes through, and I need you.
'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing. Divine conspiracy that you, an angel lovely, could somehow fall for me.
You'll always be love's great martyr. I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. Yeah, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. On my own, I'm only half of what I could be. I can't do without you.
We are stitched together, and one lovers turn it on. Pray we never undo.
God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt.
Oh, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt.
For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you.
Gave me you.
He gave me you.
Yes, another pleasant night again to all. This is Gem FM. I'm your host, the Sheriff, yours truly, John Callis. As we get back into getting out of here, we hope you did enjoy the show. Those of you on YouTube, those of you on Facebook, we thank you again for watching and being here with us show tonight, and we really encourage you to be part of Gem FM, to watch us, to support us, to share our programming with your family and friends as we continue to do what we do here, bringing you good news and sharing good vibes with you. We hope that you continue to support us right through this programming and beyond. Tonight, however, the music continues here on Gem FM. Tomorrow night at 12 o'clock, 12 to 1, I'll be doing the midnight show. All right. Yeah. Get your praise on Wednesday night, Wednesday morning. Yeah. So again, thank you so much for being here with us. And don't forget to join us on the 12th for the Family Fun Day. And on the Food and Feast at 1300 Finch Avenue West. That's where the big shebang is happening, Kaibana weekend. All right. So gospel lunch also with Jason, Jesus' son. Yeah. Happening on the 26th of August. All right. God bless you and make you a blessing. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. My people, Tricia, Grant, Louis, and all those listening to us around the world, God bless you and make you a blessing. Look, I find people like you. A special dedication of this song. As I go, play this one for every one of us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your day's down here through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. The streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your day's down here through, there's a place up there for people like you. The streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there
for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. 'Cause there's a place up there for people like you.